Became very personal when some other family members that I know of needed help with hearing aids, and there was no money available, and the Elks also helped them.
In our community a couple years back, there was a young man, I believe about 4 or 5 years old, was very ill, and the family didn't have a lot of money, so it was so close to our lodge. We just all stepped up and raised funds. We were able to supply Christmas gifts, food, baskets, basically everything they needed to have a successful Christmas. And to see them receive these gifts from us really makes you feel good about what you do.
We were at a provincial conference just recently, and someone had suffered a fire and lost everything, and she was staying actually in the hotel that all the delegates were, and we were lucky enough to recognize her, and she came in, thought we were a ball team or something. It was kind of funny, but we ended up helping her and gave each one of her kids $500 the same day, and helped her out a lot. And we took our collection up, and I think we raised another $680 and sent her on her way. And it's just things like that that make you feel proud of doing what we do.
As a member of the Somerville Lodge, we've helped, I believe, 4 different young kids in the past year receive hearing aids. We have requests very many times over the years.
There was a story about a father and a son. The father, it was the mother that brought the two of them in. The father, she married this man who'd always stuttered. He was a very quiet man, she said, very serious, didn't speak much, but she said just an unbelievable person, hardworking, so forth and so on. They had a child, they had a young boy. Well, this boy began to stutter as well, and took on, and was very funny, but like she said, everybody would say, oh, he's definitely his father's son. Same temperament, same everything else. They were lucky enough to be sponsored by one of the lodges in Alberta to go to ISTAR, which is Institute for Speech and Stuttering and Research. And they both went through the program, this 8-week program, and it was amazing. They had film of them at the beginning and at the end. And it was absolutely, those are 2 different people. And they showed them at the end, and the mother, when they were interviewing her at the end, the wife and the mother, she couldn't believe, she was in tears. She had problems speaking because she said, I have just met my husband for the first time, and I've just met my child for the first time. All of a sudden, their characters came out because of this, just a simple thing like changing the stuttering. They were able to express themselves, and it was, she said, it was like meeting 2 different people that just all of a sudden exploded in happiness and joy and everything else, something she'd never really experienced with them before.
Last year, as a part of Rio Canada's National Canadian Film Day event, it was also in celebration of Canada Day 150. We put on a double feature film screening for our local community in Quesnel, and we had such a blast. We offered 2 fantastic Canadian films and shared that with a ton of families and different groups in the community, and we had such a blast. So it was an honor to be a part of that nationwide celebration.
I remember my first convention, and they brought in a couple with a little guy, and they spoke about how the Elks had assisted them with getting the little guy hearing cochlear implants and whatnot. And what really touched everybody who was attending was when the mother was walking down the road, down a country road, and the little guy tugged on her skirt and said, "Mom, did you hear that?" And she said, and then she heard a plane going overhead, and the little guy heard it before she did. And I'll tell you, if that didn't confirm why you do what you do, I don't know what would. So it just touched everybody. When you make a difference in a child's life, a child, for no fault of their own, have a disability, and it catches you in the heart.
It was about 3 years ago, and I was tasked to be the charities chair for our local lodge, and we got a charitable assistance case. There's a family with a young daughter. She suffered from Down syndrome, and I remember that the family was in need. They had 2 children to raise, and it was a single income family. The father had hit some rough times. And I remember going to their home and just seeing that this is a family in need, and what can we do? The Elks Royal Purple Fund for Children has a fund set up exactly for this kind of situation where, we can give $7,500 to a family that's hitting hard times to provide this child, whether whether it's just to pay the bills and make ends meet, or it's to pay for the therapies that they need to keep up the pace in school. And I'm just glad that we were able to deliver on this. And I know that in the end, $7,500 in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot of money, but to see the impact that we made on that family really keeps me going in the Elks. And it's that kind of story that I think makes us one of the best organizations in the country.